The fire's warmth still clings to your skin, doesn't it? The flicker of its light dances in your eyes. Welcome back. You've returned just as I knew you would. Some stories refuse to leave us. They press on the edges of our thoughts, gentle and persistent. Tonight the fire remembers another part of the tale, one that lingers like smoke on your clothes, wrapping around your memory with a familiar weight. Last we spoke, the oracle had whispered through dreams, and the chosen one, perhaps not so different from you, had begun to listen. But dreams, you see, are only doorways, and the oracle had more to show, far more than what a single whisper could convey. It was on the third night that the air shifted. The dreamer found themselves no longer among clouds or stars, but in a chamber of shadows. The room pulsed with quiet magic. At its center, a crystal sphere sat atop a pedestal of bone-white stone, veined with silver. The oracle stood beside it, still cloaked in mist, her fingers gently hovering over the glass. The crystal glowed from within. No light touched it from the outside. The glow came from its depths, pale blue, flickering softly like moonlight reflected in water. The dreamer stepped forward. The oracle did not speak, she simply gestured. They looked into the crystal, and the world unfolded. Visions began to shimmer, fragmented like broken mirrors. At first they were only flickers, a smile, a falling feather, the sound of bells. But then the fragments expanded. Scenes took shape, vivid and alive. They saw themselves, older and cloaked in shadows, standing at the mouth of a canyon filled with light. They saw a tower rising from an ocean that stretched beyond the horizon, its spires reaching up like fingers desperate to touch the stars. They saw faces, some familiar, some strange, all staring directly into their soul, a child with golden eyes, a woman with no shadow, a man made entirely of birds. Each vision felt like a forgotten dream returning home. Others flickered in and out, deserted cities overtaken by vines, a ship sailing across sand, a mountain weeping molten tears. But the crystal did not linger. The scenes shifted too quickly to understand. One moment, fire raged through a silver forest. The next, snow fell upward over a battlefield where no one moved. Then a door carved into the sky, opened and closed in a single blink. Every vision left a trace behind, a breathless pause, a quiet question. "These are threads," the oracle finally spoke, "not yet woven." The dreamer blinked. The crystal dimmed, only to brighten again, showing something clearer. A small village, one they recognized, their own. But it was silent, abandoned, overgrown with ivy. Smoke drifted from chimneys where no fire burned. Even the air in the vision felt stale with memory. "Is this the future?" they asked. "It is a question," said the oracle, "a possibility." The dreamer stepped closer. Their reflection shimmered on the surface of the crystal, but it was not them. It was someone more sure, more scarred, more radiant. A version of themselves shaped by choices not yet made. From within the orb, a voice echoed, not the oracle's, but their own. It spoke riddles, warnings, pleas. "Turn left when the raven calls. Trust the silence. Beware the gift wrapped in gold." The words echoed as if spoken through 1,000 tunnels, stretching far beyond memory. They tried to memorize each phrase, but they faded too quickly. The crystal blurred and cleared again. This time, a battlefield. The dreamers stood at the center, not with weapons, but with words. They were speaking, and the world was listening. Even the wind seemed to hush around their voice. Then, a blinding flash. Light fractured across the sphere, revealing 1,000 versions of them, laughing, falling, kneeling, rising. All possible selves suspended in crystal light. Each one held a key, though none fit the same lock. "You must choose," the oracle said, "but first, you must see." The visions grew more abstract. They saw time rippling like cloth, stars moving backward, a mirror cracking in reverse, a tree growing upside down. They reached for meaning but found only feeling, hope, dread, curiosity, reverence. Shapes unfolded like riddles, and even those riddles shifted before they could be solved. Then, suddenly, the crystal stilled. One final image remained, a hand, reaching through darkness, offering a small flame. Its glow was gentle but insistent. It pulsed in time with something within them. "This is the spark," the oracle said, her voice soft now. "What you do with it will burn or bloom." The dreamer reached out, almost touching the glass. As they did, a warmth spread through their palm. Not from the fire, not from the dream, from within, as if the crystal had awakened something that was always there, waiting. They awoke with tears on their cheeks and a mark on their skin, shaped like the flame they had seen, faintly glowing before it vanished. The air around them seemed thinner, sharper, more alive. After that night, mirrors became strange. They reflected more than surface. Sometimes the dreamer caught glimpses of visions not their own. A red sky, a door on a beach, a storm frozen mid-scream. But always just for a moment. And always the sense of being watched, gently, curiously. They spoke little of it to others. Who would understand? But the oracle continued to appear, less often now, but always when needed. She brought no answers, only clarity. Each visit brought with it a sense of steadiness, a breath in the chaos. "You were never meant to be told," she whispered once. "You were meant to see." The pendant around their neck pulsed gently, as if echoing her words. The visions never fully left. Some came during waking hours, images caught in raindrops, reflections in windows, shapes hidden in candle smoke, symbols in clouds, messages in footsteps. It became clear. The crystal was not showing a fate, but a field of possibilities. And the dreamer, now touched by vision, carried its light, a light not to guide, but to reveal, to stir what already sleeps within. The oracle's last words that night were simple. "When the path clouds return to the flame, it remembers you." And now, sitting here by the fire, you begin to wonder. What would you see if you gazed into that crystal? What visions sleep behind your eyes, waiting to wake? What truths linger behind your heartbeat, waiting for you to listen? Maybe they already have. Maybe the vision begins now.